Phoebe Bridgers' song Scott Street uses 12 distinct poetic devices in the first two lines. First three words, walking Scott Street, demonstrate assonance, this internal vowel echo between walking and Scott, and alliteration and S and ST sounds that run to the end of the line. Scott Street stranger. We even have this very distant alliteration and walking and with. The first line ends in a simile, like a stranger, that's also a slant rhyme with the next line, stranger container. We can also consider stranger as the first half of an epanadiplosis because the final line, anyway, don't be a stranger, reprises this rhyme. The second line, with an open heart, open container, introduces a paradox, where we have two contradictory meanings sustained at the same time. We could understand the second line as a kind of rejoicing, defiant, open container that contrasts with the language of being a stranger, or we could see this as a really bleak and depressing image, which is made all the more forceful by the potential allusion I've heard a lot of people cite to the Elliott Smith song, Cyanide's Heaven. 8, open heart, open container demonstrates anaphora, which is the repetition of this open word at the beginning of both phrases. This is a great rhythmic trick you find in everyone from Shakespeare to Walt Whitman. These words also employ a syndeton, which is the omission of a conjunction. This is actually really important because if the lines had read open heart and open container, there's really only one way to read the line. But open heart, comma, open container allows you to read it as these two things together, or you can read the second phrase as a metaphor bearing back on the first. Your open heart is described as a container. Again, this kind of empty picture. As with the paradox, I think this is deliberate and part of Bridgers' genius of sustaining multiple ideas together at the same time. 11, there's this incredible metrical variation between the two lines. If we were to scan the meter, or the accents of words in the first line, it seems like it might be trochaic pentameter, the inverse of iambic pentameter. Walking Scott Street, feeling like a stranger. As I've discussed in my other video on Adrienne Lenker's Anything, scanning stress, especially in songs, can be really ambiguous. We might stress street as well, but there is this kind of driving rhythm that actually feels like walking. And the great thing is that it's broken in the second line. We have this more irregular rhythm that feels like a release of tension. Whenever I hear these words in sequence, it almost sounds like a container is being cracked open in the second line. 12 is a question mark. I'm sure I've missed something, so let me know what it is. You never need to analyze a song or a poem to enjoy it, but it can be useful, especially if you want to become a poet or a songwriter, to be able to communicate with other writers and to get a sense of what's going on in the lyrics. If you're interested in considering music within the context of poetry, check out our work at the International Poetry Forum. We're a nonprofit in Pittsburgh that hosts a reading series, not only for poets, but also for actors and musicians like Judy Collins, Lucinda Williams, the Clancy brothers, and many more.